right, we are live, and if anybody's in here watching, welcome. If you're watching the playback, thank you so much for watching and being here. I think it's just going to be me and Ollie tonight. Matthew is doing his own thing, and yeah. So let's see. Last week, I started a new thing where during the live stream, I picked a book off of my bookshelf because I have a lot of books and I haven't read all of them. So I'm trying to read more this year and get through some of the things. And the book that I picked last week, I'm almost done with it. I'll probably be done with it by tonight, which is good because I'm going to pick another one tonight. But I wanted to share some of my favorite quotes from it. I took some pictures because I sent it to a friend of mine. It was, I can't quite remember the name of the book. It was like Wise Words from Wild Women, I think. That may have been one of them. Or that may have been the name. It was something like that. It was an old publication. The copy that I had was secondhand, and it had something written inside of it from 1995. So quite an old book. So a lot of the quotes were from, you know, before I was born, and a lot of them still had a lot of truth to them, but a lot of them, surprisingly, I found a little bit problematic. Um, so that was interesting. Um, so one of them that I had, it's a quote from Edna Ferber, who is apparently a writer. I'm not familiar with her work, to my knowledge. But she was quoted as saying, "If American politics are too dirty for women to take part in, then there's something wrong with American politics." And I thought that was really cute. um, let's see. There was an author, actress, and narrator of an NBC broadcast in the 60s named Cornelia Otis Skinner. Not familiar with her either. And she was quoted as saying that a woman's virtue is man's greatest invention, um, which is completely accurate. Um, and there are just several different things. Um, I consider myself to be more than a little bit progressive, so uh, it was a good book for me. It was really nice to read some of the thoughts at the time, and I'm actually going to move my microphone. I just realized that it's probably making the sound from the laptop a lot louder than it should be. So there's that. But anyway, there's that. Let's see. I have been a really busy lady this week. As of January 1st, my my new business officially launched. I have not booked a client yet, but it's something that I'm working on. And tomorrow, I should be getting some of my advertising materials in the mail. I bought some business cards and some postcards for me to mail out, marketing postcards. And I designed them myself. I'm really proud of how they turned out, and I can't wait to get them so that I can show you guys and get the word out about the business so I can make some money because it's desperately needed. But in preparation of the business starting, I have Hello Soggy Bottom Homestead. Nice to have you this evening. I was just talking about how my business has officially launched, and this week I bought some business cards and some marketing postcards. So I'm really excited to get those. They should be in the mail tomorrow. And then in preparation for that, I bought a nice big planner and invoicing, like carbon copy receipt thing for invoicing. I bought a carpet cleaner because my business is cleaning commercial spaces. Um, and yeah, it's really exciting. I can't wait to get the word out. And yes, I kind of loosely have a plan. The last thing I really need to do is buy business insurance, which I already have a quote on. I wanted to wait until I had a client. I don't want to be paying for insurance that I'm not using. So I wanted to wait until I had a client before I signed up for business insurance. But I'll be insured before I go do my first job. So I need to do that, and I need to go meet with an accountant. And I have already requested a meeting with an accountant that I know personally. So I'm just waiting on him to call me back so I can get all that going. But I'm really excited. I'm ready to get this show on the road. I need to print out and revisit my fee schedule and make sure that it makes sense. Because I've got an invoicing thing on my phone that I can use. I'm mainly going to use my carbon copy receipt paper to give out quotes. But yes, I agree. I really just want to make sure that I'm doing it right. I don't want to get audited in my first year and have any mistakes. So I need somebody that I know that has has my well being in mind, and who can make sure that I don't have the government suing my pants off. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it'll end up being a really good thing for me and for us. And it'll allow me to still do my YouTube thing, and it'll allow me to spend more time with my grandparents, which is the whole reason why I moved back to Tennessee. So that's been really exciting. Let's see. I was talking earlier about how, hey, I don't even wear pants. Let's see. I was talking earlier about how last week I picked a book off of my bookshelf because I have a lot of books on my bookshelf that I've been interested in reading, and I've just never gotten around to reading them. So this week I'm trying to read, or this year I'm trying to read a book a week. And I'll probably finish the one that I picked last week tonight. But it's been a really good book. And I had some quotes that I pulled out of it, and it was really funny. Yeah. I don't know which book I'm going to pick this week. I knew last week what I wanted to pick. I've been trying for like 5 years to read Pilgrim's Progress, but I've not been successful. It's just really dense, and it's a really slow start. So I don't think I'll do that right now. And I got all the Harry Potter books that I can choose from, so that would be something. I can reread those. They're actually Matthew's. But anyway, what have you been up to this week? Tell me what you got going on. I'm still filming my Learning to Cook Without a Recipe series. I just released the introductory video this week, so I'm really excited about that. Let's see. Good evening, Four Blessings Farm. It's nice to see ya. And the Busy Little House, hi, how are you? Welcome back. If I remember correctly, you either I had two people in my stream last week from Quebec, and one of them I sent to Little Mountain Ranch. Was that you, or was that the other lady? I can't quite remember. Oh, I don't remember. But whoever it was, Little Mountain Ranch ended up coming in here last week, and I was completely flabbergasted. Oh, I didn't even know what to do. I was trying really hard not to fangirl about it. So yeah. Yeah. What all have you guys got going on this coming week, and what were you up to last week? Let me know. Tell me about your lives. Okay, so you were the one that came in later when she was here. Okay, so I cannot remember what the other lady's name was, but super sweet lady. Anyway, tell me about what's going on, guys. I've been trying to get this business off the ground. I've been trying to read more. I've been trying to stay on top of my posting schedule for YouTube. It's everything. Tonight I'm going to try and clean the kitchen. I got to film again tomorrow. We were supposed to go grocery shopping yesterday and we didn't. And then we were supposed to go today and we didn't. And so now we're supposed to go. I'm going to go tomorrow while Matthew's at work. And I've got to pick up a bunch of stuff. My great aunt passed away 2 days ago. And her visitation is tomorrow. And so I'm going to put together something to take to the family room at the funeral home so that everybody's got something to snack on real quick. So you got your small barn completed, and you're going to do a video on some seed starting. That's really exciting. I'm going to be starting my seeds the last week of January. So that's awesome. You spent yesterday fighting a flood. It's now a few feet of snow. All right. Well, I'm glad that everything's okay now. Oh, thank you. She was 91 years old. She would have been 92 next month. And she's been terminally ill for the last several years. And she's been ready to go for a long time, like actively ready, talked every day about being ready to go. So it really is a blessing in a way. Of course, we're missing her and everything already. But, she's so... I know that she's so happy to see her husband and her brother and her parents and all of that again. So anyway, it was really cool when we were at the hospital, when they called in the family. 47 people showed up. We were literally spilling out of her room and into the little waiting area where they have for the intensive care unit, and spilling out into the hallway in front of the elevators. There were 47 of us just for her. So that was really, really special. And, we try to get together pretty often, throughout the year. But, nobody wants to get together under those circumstances. But just the fact that, and some of us drove an hour away to make it. But we all made it. All of her kids were there. All of her grandkids were there, except for 2 who have a compromised immune system and couldn't be in the hospital. And most of her great grandkids were there. And then one of her great grandkids was there. So it was like, it wasn't a pleasant experience, but we did end up having a good time. So that was really nice. Just spending time with each other and kind of grieving together. That was nice. Let's see. Been so busy, you haven't had much time for the camera to be out. All right. That's all right. Hey, I know, I'll be in the middle of doing something. I'll be in the middle of working on a project, and I'm like, why am I not filming this? And then I end up just finishing it and being like, oh, I'll make a video about it at some point. So I do the same thing. Don't feel bad. Sometimes you just gotta put the camera down and take care of what you need to take care of, right? There's no shame in that. I have put my YouTube videos in my calendar. I know y'all can't see that, it's all washed out and everything, but I've marked them, so I'm trying to hold myself accountable. And as I get jobs and contracts on the books, then I will be able to kind of schedule it out around that. This calendar I really liked, or this planner I really liked, because it had like hour marks in it, where you can like actually block out time in each day. So that was really cool. But I love office supplies and school supplies and that kind of thing. It's one of the things I nerd out about. Let's see. Oh, how many do you have that you're homeschooling? I know my mom homeschooled me and my sister K-6, and she would have done it longer, but she had gone back to law school. Otherwise, she probably would have done it all the way through. But I really want to homeschool now because I was homeschooled and it was so awesome. So how many are you homeschooling, and how long have you been homeschooling? I know we live across the street from the major homeschool like co-op here. So that's really cool. If we end up living here and by the time we have kids, then it'll be cool to just literally walk them across the street. Okay. Okay. So are you homeschooling other people's kids then? Okay. All right. So it's your first year doing it. Okay. Yeah. The first couple years, from what I understand, the first couple years and like getting a rhythm and getting to know each kid and like their learning style is supposed to be the hardest. Um, so, oh, it's the Quebec laws. Oh, I hadn't considered that because here we have the. Oh, you have 4 kids. Okay, cool, cool. All right, I understand. So you're homeschooling 3 with the 3-year-old. I understand. Um, so here we have something. It's called the Homeschool Legal Defense Agency. I don't know if they do stuff in Canada too. They might. I don't know. Um, but it provides legal protection for parents who are homeschooling their kids, and um, they have like advisors that can consult with you on local laws. There is like annual dues that you have to pay into it to be part of it, but I know my mom was like signed up for it because she was always really worried. Even though I live in Tennessee and that's where I grew up, um, we have really lax homeschool laws here. She was always really worried that we were going to get sued by the state for her kids being undereducated, even though we always tested higher than we would than we were supposed to. So, okay, you do have that there. I wonder why it's so hard to do it there. I don't know. Oh, okay. See, they never had to do any reports. We had to do the annual testing whenever we like at the end of the year when all of the kids took their state testing. We had to take that as well. And we still had to take like the ACT and stuff. but I was in school by the time that happened, but I know my older cousins still had to take it. But we didn't have to do any reports necessarily. You're not taking up the chat. Anybody else that wants to comment and change the topic is more than welcome to do that. Anyway, I don't understand the reports. I know that if you were being audited, you had to have your lesson plan and you had to have a few things like put together to send to the state to show what you had been teaching. So you wouldn't get away with like unschooling necessarily, which I know has been a popular thing. And it sounds like it's stringent enough that you're probably not going to get away with unschooling in Quebec either. Let's see. How many? I'm assuming you also have 4 kids, 4 Blessings Farm. Is that correct? And how old are they? Because I think a lot of us consider homeschooling. It just kind of seems like the natural thing to do, especially when you're in this kind of lifestyle. So I think a lot of us are interested in it. Oh, they've got new laws. Okay. All right. One of the things that I really want to do, like if I do homeschool, I do want to get them and my kids involved in a homeschool co-op. Obviously, I don't have any kids yet, but when I was growing up, going 2 days a week to hang out with other kids and do other classwork was a lot of fun. We would have like recess, we would have lunch together, and it was the closest thing that I had to school before I went to public school and private school. So, plus it gave my mom a little bit of a break for most of the day, 2 days a week. Even though she also taught at the co-op, she just didn't teach us, and that was important for her. Okay. All right. I understand. 2 kids. Well, that's really exciting. That's such a fun age too, because they're old enough to kind of look after themselves just a little bit. They're a little more self-sufficient, but their minds are going, and they're so inquisitive, and they've got all kinds of stuff they're learning every day. So that's a really fun time that you've got there with your little ones. Let's see. They make you write a 3-page project plan for each child. It's sent back and forth to the government until they like it. Then meeting with my children and a DEM rep. Okay. That is a lot. But I also appreciate that Canada cares enough about their young people to make sure that they're being educated, even though it's a pain for you as a parent, but it's kind of cool. Nobody here cares. They don't care at all. It's fine. Okay. Well, I'm glad that it's just the legal paperwork that you're struggling with. I mean, I'm not glad that you're struggling with it, but I know my best friend was homeschooling my godson, her son, and she found it to be really difficult. And they were just like butting heads, and he made a lot of progress, but she was also a single parent, and so having to be mom and dad and teacher and be just glued to him 24/7 with no break was a little bit much for her. And so he's gone back into mainstream school, and as far as I know, it's going really well for them. So yeah, no, I don't blame you. I don't want to like unschool either. I definitely, because I love school supplies and I love office supplies and all the things, and because I was homeschooled, I'm really passionate about some of the curriculums that I used whenever I was in school. like Story of the World for history is like amazing, and I love Spectrum English, and I loved Matthew C. and all of those things. So I'm passionate about that, but at the same time, like there are some things that you can be a little bit more relaxed on depending on the kid, and I can see where having those regulations would make that more difficult for you. So, yep, that's right. You can always send them back. Oh me. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, museums are fantastic. We don't have a ton here. I think we have one. No, we have two, maybe three here. But they're not. One of them is a part-time museum. It's only open on the weekends. And then the other is a museum that literally has not updated their stuff on the inside for my entire lifetime, and I'm 25. And then the other one is an art museum, but it's also a part-time museum because it's also a performance venue. So it's not really a thing that people can take kids to, although if they're having a special exhibit, they will have like school groups go. Just this area is not great. If you're in Quebec, that's great. I don't have those luxuries here. Let's see. You've been keeping a close eye on what they teach here. Thankfully, several of the teachers at your daughter's school go to your church, and you're in the same Bible study groups. Okay, well that's really cool. It's really important, I think, to have some kind of a relationship with your kids' teachers. And so even if I don't homeschool, I plan on being like a PTA mom and like being as involved as I can be. So that's really awesome. I'm glad that you're able to do that and kind of manage it on a personal level. That's good. Let's see. Yes, we did go to the library a lot when I was a kid. I mean, I say a lot. We probably went like 4 times a year. Our lives were crazy back then. But anyway, so last week, like I was saying earlier, I picked out a book and I'm almost done reading it. I'll finish it tonight. And I had some quotes out of it that I liked. But I'm going to pick a new book tonight, real quick. So I will be right back. It's just right over here, just out of frame. Okay, I got it. This one has been on my list for a while, and you guys are going to love it. I can already tell. Let's see. You take them 2 times a month when they have reading night at the library. Aw. Yeah, that's cute. I don't know. I remember I went to preschool before I went to kindergarten, even though I was homeschooled for kindergarten. I went to preschool because my cousin was going, and I don't know what their thought process was. It was not a great time. But I remember they took us to the library a few times, or maybe the preschool had its own library. I was really little. I don't quite remember. But I remember they would do puppets. And so they had like puppets for Little Betty Foo Foo. They also had the 3 Little Pigs, and they also had like Rumpelstiltskin and stuff like that. And they would do those. But I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember if that was at the library or if that was like at the preschool. I don't remember. But with regards to this book, a lot of the books that I have on my shelf, I got free from the library in Indiana. I used to live right down the road from it, and they would give out books, and they would turn theirs over every day. And so, yes, I liked getting milk too, particularly chocolate milk. But this library has free books that they just sit out. Anybody can take them. They're absolutely free. You don't even have to have a library card, and they're free to keep. And so it's usually if they have duplicates, or if it's old, or if it hasn't been checked out in a long time. And so this one, it doesn't have one of those old like checkout cards in it. But this is Laura Ingalls Wilder on the banks of Plum Creek. And so I've read The Little House on the Prairie, The Little House in the Big Woods, all of that. But I've never read anything else, I don't think, by Laura Ingalls Wilder, but I know that I like it. And I love Little House on the Prairie. I mean, don't we all? But, you know, I've had this for a long time, and I haven't even cracked it open. I haven't even read the back cover. And maybe I have read this. My mom used to read me these when I was a kid. And I know it's a kid's book, and I don't care. I love kids' books. My favorite series, one of my favorite series, is The Pinderwicks by Jean Birdsall. Really good series, especially if you've got little kids, particularly little girls. The Pinderwicks is a 4 or 5 book series, and as a grown woman, I adore it. I started reading it in middle school. It was so good. Let's see. He attends a 2-day week school at your church. He loves it. Aw, yes, that's so cute. We definitely were really involved in church growing up. And our homeschool co-op was at our church, and we lived across the street from the church, so we didn't always even drive. We would walk a lot of times. And so I spent a lot of time there, especially when we got into summer, because we would have Sunday church. We would have, like when we prepped for Vacation Bible School, we would have Sunday church. We would prep for Vacation Bible School. We'd have Tuesday co-op. Then we'd have Wednesday church. Then we'd have Thursday co-op. And then we'd have Friday still prepping for Vacation Bible School, because we didn't have a properly long summer break. And then anyway, we were sometimes up there every single day for a couple weeks at a time. It was unusual for us to not be up there. I think on not in Vacation Bible School time, Monday and Friday, and Monday and Friday we weren't up there. But I had we had Sunday church, so Sunday morning and Sunday night, and then we had Wednesday night church, and then on Saturday nights we had Bible drillers, and I was a 3-time state superior Bible drill champion. Actually like a 6th time, because there's 3 years of primary, and then there's 3 years of secondary, and I got state superior every time. And I used to have like medals and stuff for it. I used to be really good at it. I don't know if they have Bible drillers anywhere else. VBS is a blast. Oh, and I loved children's choir. It was so much fun. My best friend's dad was the children's minister and the choir director. Like, he did both. And so he did children's choir, and that was like some of my favorite stuff, was doing all the little programs and everything. And we never didn't have children's choir. That's usually what we did on Sunday nights, is we had children's choir while the adults went to big church. So we would go in there, and we were always learning something. So usually we would do the Lord's Supper quarterly. And so we were always getting ready for the next quarter whenever we would have like 3 or 4 songs put together for when we would do the Lord's Supper, because then we would have like a modified service, and then the kids would perform. And we always did something special for Mother's Day and for Easter and Christmas and everything, just like you guys were saying. Your son plays the harp. That's really cool. I don't even know if I've ever seen a real harp. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's cute. Very cute. I feel like I would like, oh, really? Okay. I think I would really like a harp. I like playing piano, and I've taught myself to play by ear. Not super well at all. I should practice more, but I don't. But when I can play, I taught myself. And so, like, string instruments, I usually can do okay on. I can even pick around a little bit of a guitar, but I've never, like, had one or spent a lot of time on it. But I think, like, a guitar, not a guitar, but a harp would probably be the same way. I think I could probably figure something out. Oh, it was just a little tiny thing. Oh, that's so cute. So cute. I'll have to go. Four Blessings Farm. You have a video up on your channel of her singing? Because I'll have to go. I'll have to go check it out and see. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I'll have to go back through and see. I love. There used to be a channel that would stream their church services, and I used to like to watch those. We've been having a little bit of difficulty with church here since we've moved back. So that's something I'm wanting to fix this year, is finding a home church. I was going back to the church that I grew up in, but it's just not the same. Okay. Yeah. Whenever I moved away, all those years ago, like as a teenager, it was fine-ish, you know, and I always just like assumed that when I came home, I would be able to just jump right back into the swing of things, but that was not the case. So, I've tried several times to go back there and involve myself, and I think that's really important, is to go and involve yourself and actually get like emotionally invested in what's going on in the church and like do your service and everything. And I've tried and I've gone and I just can't. There's just I can't quite. I don't know what it is about it. I just can't quite get invested in it again. At least there. I know I'm capable of doing it. It's just not the right place for me anymore. So we were gonna try a place today, and I overslept. When I woke up, it was when we needed to be leaving. I slept through my alarm. So we were gonna try a new place there, just up the road. But anyway, we'll try again next week, I guess. Um, yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Um, I'm a lot easier to please than Matthew is when it comes to churches, because he wasn't really raised in church, and so um, you know I don't know and he doesn't know what he's looking for in a church. So um, it's more important to me that he finds one that he likes. Um, but anyway. So, see, I like the old school hymns. I love the contemporary music too, and that's a thing at my old church. Um, I used to sing special music, and so like we would have the hymns, and the choir would sing it and everything. But then every Sunday, somebody comes up and will sing like a contemporary something or other, and um, what is it? Mark Redman, the 10,000 Reasons. That was the thing I sang last time. But it's a little bit different now. Um, you guys, I can't see. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll need to move around. Um, Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. I love both of them though, because like the church I grew up in was super conservative, like hard wooden pews conservative, like we played the piano and the organ conservative, like old school. You don't wear pants to church conservative, which is fine. I don't wear pants anymore anyway, but um, they're not like that anymore. But that's, growing up, that's the emotional connection that I had to the hymns, because that's what we were doing. So um I do really like both though. I do really like both. I don't think Matthew likes the hymns as much. I have a hard time sometimes with some of the churches though, whenever it's kind of rock concerty, which I definitely really like that. I I used to go to like the youth evangelism conferences and stuff when I was a kid. Um, and we would go, and it would be like a full on concert. Um, so I definitely really do like that. But some Sunday mornings, I hadn't had my coffee yet, and like I'm not ready for the lights and the fog machine. You know what I mean? I'm not ready all the time. Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I I had a lady at my church growing up, and I don't know how old she was, because when I came back like 10 years later, she was still there and she still looked just as old. I don't know. She was really really old though. Um but she always scared me so bad, because she had a hunchback, and she looked like she was in pain all the time, and I'm sure she was. Um but she used to scare me so much. And when you have to go to the bathroom during the service, you like try to sneak out as much as you can. But I was always really embarrassed when I was growing up, and so I would like run during the service. I would run out into the door, and then I'd try to run back, and she used to snatch me up and be like, "Quit running in the sanctuary," and let me go. Oh my goodness, that preacher didn't put the fear of God in me often, but she did. A lot. A lot. Her name was Helena Bell. Let's see. Oh man. It's not a witch. Hey. Oh no. She wasn't a mean person. She was just really old, and it scared me how old she was. She looked like she shouldn't be alive. Like, um, I don't know if you've read the Twilight books, but how they describe the Volturi with their like see-through skin and their like cataract eyes and everything. Ugh, really nice lady. Just super scary looking and terrifying when you're 7. Terrifying. Ugh, everybody had the scary lady. Did you have the people that gave you candy? They were like pseudo grandparents, because the people that always sat in front of us, they were friends with my dad's parents, and so they were like pseudo grandparents to me, and they always had candy. They always had like either peppermints or butterscotch or those fake strawberries, or they had at Christmas time. Mr. Sal would get these velvet drawstring bags of what looked like black coal, but it was bubble gum. It was kind of like chiclets, and it would stain your mouth black. And he used to give us those during December for Christmas. No, my scary lady only snatched me up when I was running, and I shouldn't have been running, but it scared me when she did it. Old school candy. My grandmother can still get those strawberries. I don't know where they come from. I have no idea. I think it's just like a grandma secret, and that you find out after you have your second grandkid. They let you know where to get the grandma candy. So it'll be a few years, but I'll let y'all know when I find it. Hey, Tinker's wife. Good to see ya. How's your week been? We've been over here talking about homeschooling, and we've been talking about church. We've been talking about how everybody had the scary old lady at church, and how everybody had the old couple that would give you candy at church. You know. Oh, it's been good. I'm glad. I'm so glad it's been good for you. I already picked my new book. Last week I picked a book. I'm almost done reading it. I'll finish it tonight. But I picked a new book this week, and it's On the Banks of Plum Creek by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Super excited. And so we followed that up with tales of old ladies and old candy, just like the Busy Little House said. Did you have the scary old lady that would snatch you up and or yell at you and or hit you with newspaper if you acted up in church? And separately, did you have the old couple or the old man or the old woman? Mine was an old couple. They were like pseudo grandparents to me. And they would give us candy every Sunday just to like keep us quiet. So did you have those things if you grew up in church? Oh, I never had my ear pulled on. That was, I don't know. Maybe I just lucked out. No, you didn't. All right. All right. Well, let me tell you, the scary old lady was super duper scary. And, I don't know, the nice old couple, they've passed now, but they were always really cool. Oh, you still feel your ear getting pulled on? Hey, it'll keep you in line, right? The goal is to reach you and make sure you don't forget. Oh, me. Oh, I'm getting tired, y'all. My sleep's been all messed up, and so I've been trying to get it back to normal this week. And oh, I didn't even tell you guys. I stabbed myself in the eye the other day. It was crazy. It was just a freak thing, and just major corneal damage. That's one of the reasons why I can't see right now, because it's still healing. Oh, man. Let's see. A teacher you had in the 4th grade was a little scary. Yeah. My 4th grade teacher was pretty nice. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it was a regional thing. I don't know. Okay, Four Blessings Farm, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. I will hopefully see you next week. Yeah, I'm going to tell the story about how I got stabbed in the eye. Hey, to be fair, Busy Little House, nobody was here when I did my intro, and I talked to myself for the first 12 minutes of this live stream. Okay, so I went to, she was very matronly. However, she was also the one that noticed you needed new glasses and told your mom. Aw, that's a good teacher. That's nice. I mean, you know, I feel like my desired way of dress, because this is not how I want to look all the time. I feel like I want to dress like a school marm. I just don't have the funds or the occasion. So, you know. Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, my eye is okay. Yeah. So what happened was, let me tell you guys, because I totally forgot about it. And the reason that I keep forgetting to tell you about it is because it is so much better. So this is my third corneal abrasion. The first one was when I was homeschooled and I was sharpening a pencil and I fell on it, scratched my eyeball, almost took it out. But I've still got both of them, so that's great. And then the second one, I was living in Indiana. I had gotten a puppy. He was jumping up onto the bed, and they're clumsy and they got puppy feet flying at you from all angles, and so pawed me in the eye, and that one was really bad. That one like dug a ditch in my cornea. That was really it's been 5 years, 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and I still have problems with it. So this way around, I had been to the doctor, and you know how when you go to the doctor and they schedule your next appointment, they give you a piece of paper with your next appointment on it. Well, mine does, and I had that, and I was unlocking my car, and it was really windy here, which is super unusual. We only have wind when we have storms, and we had a storm that night. I thought I kept waking up in the middle of the night because I thought the trailer was going to blow away, Wizard of Oz style. But I was standing there. I was unlocking my car. I had the paper in my hand, and the wind caught it and blew it up, and the corner of it dug into my cornea diagonally. And whenever I went, I just immediately knew that I had ruined my eyeball. This being the other eye. So I've got one I'm still dealing with damage on because it was not treated properly 4 or 5 years ago. And so now I've got this one, and this one was treated properly. The good thing about being home is that I get to go back to all of my regular practitioners again. And so my eye doctor has been friends with my dad for like ever and ever and ever. So that's good. I went over there. He gave me $2,000 worth of treatment for $45. That's the way to go when you don't have vision insurance. So I went over there. I called him first. I was like, hey, I just stabbed myself in the eye. Can I come in? And they were like, yeah, of course, please come in. And I was like, okay, well, I gotta wait for somebody to come get me because I can't see to drive right now, but I'll be there in about 20 minutes. And they were like, okay, be safe. So I sat in my car bawling until Matthew came and picked me up. I called my best friend that lives in Indiana, and I was like, I stabbed myself in the eye again. I was so upset because I just knew I was going to be in for another 4 years of not being able to see. And so we went to the eye doctor, and he was like, ew, this is particularly bad. And when your eye doctor says, ew, that's not good. And so what he did was he had a free sample from his distributor of this new magical witch doctor medicine where they take a hunk of amniotic sac and turn it into a wafer, basically. And it's got all those good like stem cells and amino acids and good enzymes and micronutrients and proteins and stuff in it. And so they like freeze dry it, super duper crispy. And he put it in a contact that had no prescription in it, and he put that on my eye and was like, if we can do some other things, but this is going to take care of it overnight. This is going to do 2 weeks of healing in a day. And so he had me come back the next day, and when he took it off, he was like, wow, this is over 90% healed already, and it's only been a day. And so now I have drops. I'll have drops until next Thursday, this coming Thursday. So that's good. Hey, you're saying ew, but I can still see out of my eye, busy little house. All right. I don't care. They can put cow poop in my eye if it would help. I don't care. I'm so glad. Yeah, see. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to do it. And we were talking about, because this is an inordinate number of corneal injuries at I'm a quarter of my way through my life and I've already had 3. Okay. So we were talking about, he was like, why do you think you keep having these problems? And I was like, well, you know how people have fight or flight reflexes? And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I guess I have more of a fight reflex because when stuff like this comes flying at my face, I don't flinch. But if I flinched, then my eyelid would have caught it and I would have been safe. But I don't flinch. And so it stabs me in the eye often. So that's a problem. But luckily, I need new glasses. And so once it's fully healed here in about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to go back to him and get my prescription updated. And I'm going to get some wide glasses, I think. And I'm going to wear those. And hopefully that'll serve as some eye protection. That's the hope. Crispy, it wasn't placenta. It's the amniotic sac. It's different. Yeah, no, I'm glad I can see too. Everything's still really blurry, and I've got the light set up I've got 2 bright lamps with no shade on them next to the TV, which is where you guys are. And so I'm still pretty photosensitive. So all the lights now have like a big fat aura around them, which is annoying. But it's better than not being able to see. And since I'm going to have to get glasses anyway, like, it's fine. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't even ask him. I was like, is it human? Did it come from a person? I don't know where it came from. All I know is it's $1,500 if your insurance doesn't cover it. But luckily, he had a sample. So I didn't pay for it. And I'm really grateful I didn't have to pay for it because I do not have $1,500. I am exceedingly poor. Let's see. No, I haven't been photosensitive where it hurts me. I was the first day when he dilated everything. It was checking out all my eye bits. But I didn't need sunglasses because it was overcast that day. It's just like I'm photosensitive in the way that my cornea is now uneven. The surface of it is uneven. And so the way that the light is refracting in my cornea is bigger and weirder, and it's a distraction. So I definitely cannot see to drive at night right now. And I'm fine during the day. I'm also having, the first day I had some real issues with depth perception, but I haven't had much of an issue today. Anyway, I also haven't left my house today, so that's been cool. But yeah, last night when we were shopping, we went to 3 different places, and I didn't have an issue, so that's good. Hey, that is A-okay. I'm wrapping it up right now anyway, so make sure you get some rest. Thank you. I'm sure that everything is gonna like regenerate. I don't know. It's like when you cut off a lizard's tail, your cornea kind of like comes back. At least that's been in my experience. So yes, I'm also really glad because if I was still in Indiana and this happened, it would be just like the last time and I wouldn't have the money to get it treated properly. So definitely a blessing that I am home. So anyway, you guys run. I'm going to run. We've been on here an hour and I'm really glad that you were all able to come and visit with me. It means the world to me and I'm looking forward to next week already. Hopefully I'll have some interesting business information to give you and hopefully I will be done with this book so we can pick a new book. It just kind of holds me accountable. So anyway, y'all have a great night. I will see you around. New video coming out on Tuesday and Thursday night. So if you're interested, there's that. If not, I will see you Sunday night. Bye, guys.